everyone, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I buy used clothes at the thrift store and I list them on Poshmark and eBay and I sell them, hopefully for a profit. Usually every day I do a ship with me video, so it's kind of chronicles daily what I'm selling. So you can see a realistic view of what actually sells for someone who lives in not a super affluent area. I get really basic items most of the time. And I am going to do the ship with me at the end portion of this video. But first, I just wanted to break down my February numbers. So I'm going to talk about how many items I list. I'm going to talk about how much money I made. I'm going to talk about how many hours I work. And so hopefully you will stick around to the end and see what actually sold yesterday as well. So in February, I listed 284 items. I listed all of those on eBay, and then I do cross list to Poshmark, but I don't have an accurate number of how many items I actually listed to Poshmark, but it's roughly the same. This doubled what I listed in January. So in, I think November, definitely December and January, I was only listing five items a day. I was focusing on doing an inventory audit of all the things that I have bought to resell and switching over how I store those items. Starting in February, I doubled my listings to 10 items a day. So right now I have roughly 1,200 items listed on eBay and just about 950 items listed on Poshmark. I have a total of, oh shoot. Sorry, I didn't write that number down. A total items that sold in February was 118 items. That is low. It's low for me just in general. It's also low considering how many I listed. 83 items sold on eBay. That's like a 25% sell through. I mean, like, it's really low. It's not good. And then 35 items sold on Poshmark. Poshmark, something's making a noise. I'm not sure what's happening. Poshmark is, I'm just trying to make it extra for me. I don't put a whole lot of effort into it. Seriously, what is making that noise? I don't put a whole lot of effort into Poshmark. I do use Prime Lister. I just kind of set it and forget it, so it shares my closet for me. It sends offers at 15% off plus a shipping discount. My gross sales amount for February is $3,110.45. Also, some reason I didn't write down my average sales price was, but it was right about $26.45, I think. It was up about 75 cents from January, which is good. I would love to get more profit per item. Obviously, I think everyone is working towards that, maybe. My profit. So of that gross amount, that's total that came in. So that includes all the shipping. I also then have to pay fees from that. So my profit is minus fees, shipping, and then what I paid per the item. And that profit amount is $1,831.84. I got all these numbers from Vendoo, which is what I'm using. I'm not recommending it at this point, but it's just what I'm using. I've been trying it since November, I think. I got it the end of November. Just trying it out. I was liking the spreadsheet that I was using, but I was using, like, it kept messing up and seriously, something's making a noise. I don't know what it is. One, it kept messing up, and two, my store has grown. significantly over the, 2 years ago, I had 0 items, 2.5 years ago. So I've been doing this for just about 2.5 years. I still feel like I'm very new. So I spent $410.38 on new items to sell. So I went to the Bins, which is the Goodwill outlet, while you pay by the pound. I had no, that was in January. I had a free sourcing opportunity. What else did I do? I just went to a local thrift store a couple times and bought just like 2 or 3 items at a time, but those little trips add up. The Bins was my biggest expense, and I didn't think that I had done a lot of thrifting in February, but the Bins was, like I said, a big expense for me. So if I take that out of my profit, that comes to $1,421.46. I do have other small expenses, like my eBay store costs, I think I'm at $50 a month. Vendoo costs money, PrimeLister costs money. There's lots of things. I think I bought these guys this month, but it was like $20. So there are other small expenses, but I did not count all that in right now.
Are you doing the computer and the separating the bangs out doesn't go too well for the Eagles girls?
Okay. Yes, you may use my computer. Okay. All right. So I do work 20 hours a week-ish. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. So I am primarily a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 kids. I have a husband. I homeschool my children. I have other little side hustles and things that I do professionally. I am actually a birth doula. And that's heavy on my mind right now because I actually have a mom that's due soon. So what 20 hours a week looks like for me is I ship in the morning. It generally takes me about an hour. I do that roughly 6 days a week. That includes the video and editing the video. Part of the reason I don't over edit is because I don't have time. I also like to just keep it real, and realistically, I get interrupted 700 times a day because I have 4 kids. I also work in the afternoons for usually about 3 hours. I would say 3-ish days a week. And in that time, I do my listing. So that's not even true. I list in the mornings also from drafts that I have saved in Vendoo. And then so in the afternoons, I take pictures. I work on my inventory, putting things into the inventory. And then 1 day a week in the morning, I thrift for about, let's see, I thrifted yesterday and I was gone for right about 4 hours. 1 day a month, I take a big thrifting day, and I'm gone for like 16 hours, at least 12 hours, where I drive to a bigger city, more affluent areas. I go to the Bins. I try to hit up some nicer thrift stores than what is in my area to try to get different items than I would get here in my town and in my area. So I do all that with my children. My kids, hopefully, are asleep still when I do my shipping in the morning. That's not always the case. Sometimes you'll notice my 8-year-old daughter likes to help me quite a bit, and so she'll come out and help me. In the afternoon, like I said, I homeschool my kids, and so in the morning time is when we do our schoolwork. In the afternoon, I do, my older kids have independent work that they continue working on if they're done. Sometimes they're teenagers and they do what they do. My little kids will either, that was weird. I thought I saw something move. I don't know. That was weird. Okay. Yeah, so I will I work in my garage, so it's really convenient to have them just play outside during that time. Sometimes they get involved in Lego often, so they'll play with that. Sometimes they'll come and help me help me. Sometimes that slows it down a bit. Quite honestly, sometimes they watch TV. PBS Kids is my friend. I will say that it does help having teenagers because they are able to help in, you know, like the one morning a week that I thrift. If my husband's not home, my teenagers can watch the kids, and then they just do, you know, the majority of their schoolwork in the afternoon. That's how I do it. And thrifting, I think I choose to do my thrifting by myself as much as I can. Often I will take my 8-year-old along with me. I shouldn't say often, sometimes. But usually, honestly, that's my alone time. That's a nice time for me to just kind of get away. I can take my time. I don't have the interruptions of the kids, but I think if I had a baby or a toddler, it would still be quite simple to do with them, either with a baby or a toddler in a baby carrier, or putting the baby or a toddler in a cart. You know, and I see on YouTube, online, lots of other parents thrifting with their kids, even kids that are my kids' ages of 5 and 8, around that age. And, you know, eventually they get to a place where they can stay by themselves, which is really nice, or help babysit. So I hope that that helps a little bit. I know I get a lot of questions in the comments, which I love, but about how I do it all. I will be the first to tell you, I don't do it all well. I get it done sometimes, not even all the time. So there's plenty of things that I do not do. I'm not great at housekeeping. My teenage daughters have a big responsibility in that, not excessive, but my husband actually is primarily who keeps track of the house. That's what they're doing inside right now. And you know, I don't know what else I was going to say about that. I don't read for fun. I don't, I watch too much YouTube. I don't know what else I have to say about that, other than I hate when people are like, oh, you do all the things. I'm not any different than anybody else. That's all I wanted to say, I guess, about that. So anyway, if I average it out to 20 hours a week with $14.21 as my profit for the month, it averages to $17.70 per hour, which is double what I really could make around here anyway in a part-time job doing something that made me miserable. I really love reselling. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun. I like being at home. Not everybody likes being at home, and that's totally fine. Whatever. I don't care what other people do. I'm just saying, for me, this is really a good fit for me. And so it might be a good fit for you. Okay. For some reason, I'm out of breath, which is not good. But I think I'm done chatting about that. So let's talk about what sold yesterday. So today is March 2nd. It's Saturday. So these are all the things that sold in about the last 24 hours. This is a Starbucks mug. Crazy Starbucks mug. It's very basic. It's very nice and sturdy. It says Starbucks coffee. It is has a 2007 date on there. What else does it say? I don't know. That's it. When I looked this up to kind of find out what it was, it just said a barista mug. So I looked up Starbucks barista mug 2007, and they had an average sale price of $16.17 and a 37% sell-through rate. So when I looked up items on Terapeak, when I look up the sell-through rate and the average sale price, I'm looking items up on Terapeak. Let me say that correctly. Terapeak will take the number of items sold and divide that by the number of items that have been listed and sold together. Does that make sense? So let me see if I can do some easy math. So say there's 4 items sold and 6 items available. They will divide 4 divided by 10 6 plus 4 is 10, to get a 40% sell-through rate. Okay, so hopefully that helps you to understand, hopefully it helps me to understand how I am calculating sell-through rate. Not everyone on the internet calculates sell-through rate that way. I just do it that way because Terapeak does it that way. I don't necessarily think something's right or wrong. Some people get, I don't know. I don't care. I care. I don't know what I'm saying. Just ignore me. Okay, so I sold mine for $19.96. That was my full asking price. So, yeah. Anyway, I thought 37%, not cents, was a pretty good sell-through rate. When I'm shopping, I look for a 25% sell-through rate. That's what I try to make my lowest. It never works out that way. I would say less than 50% of the time, as you'll see. I don't think sell-through rate is everything. I mean, obviously, I have one sell-through rate in here today that you're going to be like, oh. And I also have things that have high sell-through rates that just sit. So it doesn't mean anything, but the higher the sell-through rate, the more likely your item is to sell. I have zero cost of goods into this mug. About a little over a month ago, I had an interesting sourcing opportunity. I told you I would talk about that later. This is later. don't really feel comfortable sharing exact details, but anyway, I got to source kind of like an estate sale for free, and it was so much fun. I forgot to tell you, I have 7 items that sold and a gross sales amount of $138.93. I'm thrilled about that. So my profit on this is $19.42. I did make a little money on the shipping. I'm not really sure why that is, but I did. Okay, next item also has a really good sell-through rate. These are Nike shorts. They look like basketball shorts to me, but on the little drawstring, it actually says Nike running. So Nike, and I would assume those are men's. Those do not look like women's running shorts to me. But so when I look up Nike running men's shorts, there's always like little somethings. The average sale price is $16.97 and a 53% sell-through rate. Yesterday I had really slow sales, and so last night towards the evening I sent out $30 offers plus the discounted shipping on Poshmark, and this was one of the things that sold with that 30% off. So these did actually sell really low for $14. Well, not really low. I mean, if the average sale price is $17, $3 off, that isn't bad. I bought these at the bins where you buy things by the pound, so I paid, less than $1 for them probably. My bins is $1.79 a pound. So I put my cost of goods at $1 and my profit is $8.03. I like that. For little running shorts, that doesn't bother me at all. Did I tell you the sell-through rate was 53%? That's really high. That looks like more items sold than listed. Okay, this is a little skort, a little golf skort, and it is Adidas Climacool. I would assume that it's like a cooling material. It is black, so I'm gonna run my terrible lint roller over it. Adidas skort. So this is a skort. If you're unsure what a skort is, it's like half skirt, half shorts. An Adidas skort has an average sale price of $12.30 and a 10% sell-through rate. I feel like last spring and summer, skirts sold pretty well. So I would imagine that as, you know, spring continues on into summer, that sell-through rate will get higher. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. So mine sold for $14 on Poshmark. Again, the 30% off sale. It wasn't a sale, it was the offers that I sent out. I bought this, I bought this at my favorite thrift store. My cost of goods is generally under $1 there because they do kind of a perpetual bag sale. My cost of goods this day was 17 cents, which is just insane. I went there yesterday and my cost of goods was like 70 cents, which is, I mean, I'm not complaining at all about 70 cents. Anyway, my profit on this is $8.86 and it took about 10 months to sell. And I'm realizing that I forgot to tell you how long the other things took to sell. But nothing was fast. It was all like 5 and 10 months today, so not really sure why that is, but it is. All right, this is Ground Advantage. This sold on eBay, but this is like a vintage little vest thing, and it has, you know, it says USA. It has a flag patch here. This is like actually seersucker material, which I don't even think I put in the title. But this is Drapers and Damons. I should show you the tag, sorry. But this is you know what? I'm not even sure that it is still, I don't know much about this brand. Let's just say that. I don't know if it's still in existence, but I find some really cool vintage stuff from them. And I'm just seeing that it needs lunch rolled as always. So when I searched Drapers and Damons vintage vest, the only thing that came up was mine. So, but it was like a 10% sell-through rate. So kind of lucky that mine sold, you know. But I changed it to Vintage Vest Patriotic just to try to get some sort of information to share with you. And then the sell-through rate, or the average sell price, was $26.78 and a 9% sell-through rate. So not wildly popular. That's okay. Mine sold for $19.93. I did have a 20% off sale. So I think I had it listed for $25. And I ran a 20% off sale, and this sold for $19.93 plus shipping. And so a total, they paid a total of $26.73. I found this at a really cool church sale that I kind of happened upon in November. My average cost of goods for the sale was $1.69. I got a ton of vintage stuff, tons. Which, you know, wasn't real surprising. It was like a lot of older people running the church sale. So that was kind of cool. I paid $1.69. I already told you that. My profit is $14.75 on that vest. And oh shoot. Okay, I gotta do some surgery on this. So I used a recycled poly mailer. I'm just trying to, you know, save myself the 7 cents that the one that I bought cost me. This one has a big rip in the back, which is not ideal. Glad I noticed it. Just taping over it. Not a big deal. There, all done. Surgery complete. Oh, but I have to put the label on. It's just going that way today. Okay. So hopefully they'll love their vest. This is a swimming suit that was mine. But I think it's super cute. I just didn't love the way it fit me. So I wore it like once or twice. I'm positive that I got it at a thrift store because I don't buy anything for myself any other place. I always make sure with swimsuits that the inside is nice and clean. No no anything on that because nobody wants that. Let's see. Just, you know, little bits of fluff and floof everywhere. So this sold on Poshmark, and actually somebody sent me a message on Poshmark or was commenting on it, like asking if they could pay for it on the 1st. I didn't respond just because I don't see the comments on Poshmark very well. But they had left quite a few comments on it, like asking if they could wait. But by the time I saw them, they had already offered and I'd already accepted. So I accepted the $17 that they offered for this. So when I looked up this brand, it's called Fit For You. I forgot to show you the brand. It's Fit number 4 letter U, Fit For You. This brand had an average sale price of $15 in a less than 1% sell-through rate. It was 0.33%. That's not good. Don't go buy this brand. But it was mine. So it had no cost of goods into it. I could have donated it. Did I say that right? It didn't sound right. Could have donated it, but I just decided to list it and see what happens. So I sold it for $17 on Poshmark. No shipping discount because they made the offer. My profit is $13.60. I know one thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, I have another. We can talk about that in a minute. Okay. Okay, this is so cool. How cool, right? It's like the straw vintage bag. There's no tags on it, anything at all. I don't know. But I don't know. It's just really cool. I found this at my favorite thrift store. I'm really afraid to send it in any way. I don't know. I'm just going to shake it out a bit. Okay. So, when I look up vintage straw bag, this is an average sale price of $49.04 and a 12% sell-through rate. I don't know what was making the sell-through rate high. Sometimes I, dig through to look, but I just chose to not today. But mine sold for $22.74. So that was, I think I had it listed at $30 and then 20% off of that. I bought this at my favorite thrift store. Again, my cost of goods is super low. It was 64 cents. They actually paid a total of $31.74 for this. You know what? I don't know if I should leave this folded because I think it'll actually fit unfolded in here. Maybe not. Yep, I'm just gonna try it. I don't like not wrapping my stuff in tissue paper, but I also don't feel great about folding this over. Okay, we're gonna do it like that. Cool. See if I can reuse that. I don't know where I was or what I was saying, but my profit is $18.86. Once again, this is a recycled poly mailer, so that means I have to tape it down. All right, so we're getting close to the end. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you've made it to the end, I don't know, my kids were like, why do you ask questions? Because I like getting to know people. Oh, I know what I want to know. I would like to know if you are a full-time reseller, a part-time reseller, if you consider yourself a hobby reseller, kind of you just do it for fun and a little extra money, or are you not a reseller at all and you just like to watch reseller content? I would love to know that. To tell you my profit was $18.86. Okay. so I have one more thing. This is a little hat. It says love. It is very blinged out. However, when I pulled it out, I realized that there are actually like 3 rhinestones missing in here. I don't know if they fell out in storage or if I just completely missed that, but it's kind of significant. But I am going to message the buyer and see if they still want it. They did buy it on Poshmark, which I'm very thankful of, because I really dislike canceling on eBay. It's not good for your metrics, but this had a 4% sell-through rate and a $7.54 average sale price. I looked up baseball cap, love rhinestones, and that's what it gave me. This sold for $14 on Poshmark. What I wanted to say about that is under $15, so Poshmark charges 20% in fees. Under $15, they charge a flat rate of $2.95, which is more than 20% at $14. And then even more and more, you know, at $10, that's like 30%. Is that correct? Yes. So, I try really hard not to sell things under $15 on Poshmark. Plus, if you send an offer, then you have that shipping discount as well. So, I just wanted you to be aware, if you didn't know on Poshmark, that is what happens. So just be aware of that. I bought this hat for $1 at a garage sale. My profit might be $8.03. My total profit for the day was $91.55. I feel like coming out of the slump of February, I'm really hopeful that spring will just continue on an upward trend. So that was a long video. Thank you so much again for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. I do these sell-through ship with me videos every day at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I really appreciate you. I'll see you soon.